Wilder with a good return up to the 28-yard line. A 23-yard return stop by Ron Burton. Vinny Testaverde, an much improved quarterback over last year at the helm, feeling very confident and comfortable in the huddle. And the offensive line doing a good job of protecting him, anchored by Paul Gruber on the left side, Mikhail Grimes, Cooper Taylor, and Ron Hall. Backs and receivers, big note there, William Howard in place of the injured James Wilder. Danny Peoples and Willie Drury in on obvious passing situations. 1st and 10 for the Bucks. In motion, Hill. And on the ground, Lars Tate taking it head for about 3 to the 30. Defensive line, Freddie Joe Nunn back at his customary left. Sadler, Waller, Carl Wilson starting in place of David Dunaway. Linebacking core, Ilya Jarashchuk in place of the injured rookie middle linebacker Eric Hill, flanked by Anthony Bell and Ken Harvey. And at secondary, anchored by Tim McDonald, having himself one whale of a season. 2nd and 7. Testaverde back to pass, and it's complete to Bruce Hill. Short gain, he'll still be about 5 shy of the first down marker. And the wide receivers figure to be a big part of the offense for Tampa.
Well, they really do, James, because of that injury problem. James Wilder is not suited up for this ball game. You also have Sylvester Stamps, who suffered a concussion and bruised ribs last week against the Bears. So, you know, we could have a real shootout in the with the ball in the air from Testaverde.
Ilya Jarashchuk out, Jay Taylor in on 3rd and 4 for the Bucks. And it's complete for a drop. Had the yardage for the first down, but Bruce Hill, slightly built, racked hard by Lonnie Young.
That ball was thrown a little bit high to Bruce Hill, and this is one thing, a real trademark for the Cardinals secondary. They are the best hitting secondary in the National Football League, and Bruce Hill saw a lot of this on the game tape. Should have had that ball. Questionable whether he would have had enough for the first down, though.
Chris Moore in to do the punting for the Buccaneers. Vi Sikahema, very dangerous return man for the Cardinals. From the 18. Vi Sikahema across midfield to the 49 of Tampa, stopped by the punter, Chris Moore. Mention how dangerous he is. 49-yard punt, 33-yard return.
Well, he's number 2 in the NFC in return, so check out his moves here. As a nice screen block there by Jax, avoids the illegal block, but that's all pure talent there. As Sikahema now one-on-one with the punter, and let's give Chris Moore a lot of credit for bringing down that very elusive by Sikahema.
Not very fast, but good juke moves. 1st and 10, ball at the 49 of Tampa. And Tom Tupa's first pass is batted down by Kevin Murphy. Check that. We'll make it Winston Moss. Tom Tupa, second-year quarterback from Ohio State, getting the nod here. Coach Kuhlman said he's going to go with the youngsters. We've got to look toward the future, and that means Tupa and Rosenbaum.
Very important for the Cardinals to maintain their focus and try to get some order going.
Louis Sharp starting back after missing 2 games. As you take a look at the backs and receivers. Second and 10 for the Cardinals. On the ground, this is Jordan. And a flag on the play as Jordan bangs ahead for maybe 1.5 yards.
I'm going to call this one back, JB, because of holding in the offensive line right at the point of attack. Jerry Markbright, our official for this afternoon, and he's the man to call the penalty, giving Eugene Marv the options.
Holding, number 63, offense, 2nd down.
Judy Robbins, the man. He's going against an old friend of his today in Reuben Davis. Very familiar. In fact, Judy recruited Reuben out of high school for East Carolina. Obviously didn't show him a good enough time, or
maybe too good a time.
but Reuben ended up going to North Carolina.
Earl Farrell and Tony Jordan out. Vi Sikahime in as the lone back. 2nd and 20. 3 wide receiver set as Don Holmes is in. Roy Green in motion. Low snap, but Tupa has it and throws it high. Intended receiver Roy Green. So we'll bring up a 3rd and 20. Now Tupa, in talking with us, mentioned that he was feeling much more comfortable. Guess he just has to settle down a little bit here.
Well, this is a tough situation for any quarterback to have your first pass come on a 2nd and 20 situation. And that's really a main concern of Hank Kuhlman's is let's not stop ourselves today, boys. And by stopping ourselves, I mean let's not have any turnovers, let's not have any sacks, and let's not have any penalties. Already we've seen a penalty that's put him in a negative situation.
And another tough situation for Tupa, a 3rd and 20. 4 wide receiver set. Low snap again. And Tupa scrambling, decides to run it. And driven out of bounds. A 6-yard run. Ricky Reynolds runs him out of bounds. So the Cardinals, 3 and out, will have to punt this one away.
But that was a good decision on Tupa's part because the only receiver he had open while he was running for that first down was a receiver who was across the middle. Very dangerous pass for a quarterback to throw late over the middle.
Positive sign in terms of his young development?
You bet. Field position very important in this game, and if with a good punt, the Cards can pin the Bucs back deep.
Rich Camarillo on to punt for the Cardinals, and Willie Drury back for the Buccaneers. And Drury signals for the fair catch at the 15. No score at first quarter action here. Tampa takes over. Ball at its own 15. Out of the I formation, and a loss on the play, an aggressive Phoenix defense. A loss of 1 on the play as Lars Tate had nowhere to go. A lot of action around the NFL today, and let's take you back to New York for an update with Brent Musburger.
Well, JB, I'll tell you, it's going to be a log jam in the NFC Central. The Packers have a 1-point lead. They just made an interception. They're trying to kill the last 3 minutes against the Vikes. 2:20 now officially to go, and let's send you back to JB.
All right, Brent, and an outstanding job Lindy Infante has done this season. 2nd and 11 for the Bucs. Testaverde back to pass. Thrown incomplete. Intended receiver was Bruce Hill and Cedric Mack, the man sticking to him like glue.
One thing that Hank Kuhlman said, that his defense is not going to be beat by the wide receivers of the Tampa Bay Bucs. Good protection for Testaverde here, but watch the coverage here from Cedric Mack. There's just no way this ball could be completed. You can't have a guy covered any better than that.
Jay Taylor and Michael Zordichen, 5th and 6th defensive backs for the Cardinals. 3rd and 11. 3 wide receiver set for the Bucs. Testaverde under pressure. Gets rid of it. And it's caught. Was he inbounds? And apparently not. A great effort on the part of Mark Carrier.
Well, and Carrier's saying, listen, I would have come down inbounds if I wasn't pushed out of bounds. But interesting to see whether we'll have a review of this or not from upstairs. Here's the catch. Nice catch. For a guy that's only 6 feet tall, he really gets up well. And I'm not so sure he doesn't have a good point there because Zordich did come and drag him out of bounds.
Looks to be the case from that replay. Jim Waller was really applying some pressure to Vinny Testaverde. And Dan, as you mentioned, Jerry Markwright stops the play as this play is being reviewed upstairs in the booth by L.T. Bonner. And it certainly looked like Carrier would have come down inbounds with that pass had he not been hit.
Well, he's really developed well as far as his hands are concerned this year, has a lot of confidence. There you see the replay booth. One of the problems that I see with this system is that the televisions they're looking at are about 12-inch screens, and I don't think there's anybody at home that's looking at a screen that small. But here's the catch. And if he comes straight down, I got to believe his left foot would be right next to his right foot, but Zordich makes a nice play, pulls him out of bounds, and that's going to be one that they'll be looking at quite a bit.
Now, that could take some time, and, of course, a very hopeful one is Mark Carrier, who's really having himself one whale of a season, Dan. 51 catches for 861 yards coming into the game.
Well, and his confidence is so high now that he really believes that he can make the big catch. Perhaps a year ago, that ball would have been out of bounds.
He and Vinny Testaverde did a lot together in the offseason. Played a lot of basketball. Carrier, of course, picking up the martial arts.
The play stands. 4th down.
Ah, well, they let it stand.
Well, okay, I'm 0 for 1.
So Chris Moore comes on to punt for the Buccaneers, who couldn't get anything going, and Vi Sikahema back to receive for the Cardinals. And a high punt, and Sikahema has to signal for the fair catch, taking it at the 49-yard line. A 34-yard punt. Hang time of about 4.6, and that prevented the dangerous one from returning it.
Yeah, it really did, because they got great coverage down there on Vi Sikahema, and we're seeing a little bit of the two debates out here. We got a referee right in the middle. Jerry Markbright lost his hat and everything. You know, that's going to make him mad.
It looked like they were going after him.
Well, that's probably the most dangerous place you can be, is in the middle of those 300-pounders, but good field position for the Cardinals as they start their second drive.
I thought they might be expressing their displeasure over the call against Mark Carrier. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Ball marked at the 48 of Tampa. Tony Jordan, the lone back for Phoenix. Robert Awalt shifting to the right side. And straight ahead, good hard run by Tony Jordan. A 5-yard run by Jordan up to the 43.
If the Cardinals are going to have any success running the ball today, it's going to be between the tackles. They don't really have the speed to get outside, and the Buccaneers' defense is outstanding at pursuit. Their linebackers run real well, as do their front three. If the Cards are going to have success, they're going to do just like that.
2nd and 5. Farrell in motion. And Jordan met and greeted hard that time. Give the credit to Reuben Davis. And Davis, Dan, is not playing in the best of health.
Well, he's really not, because he's got one bad ankle, his right ankle. And Reuben is right here. Watch how he shoots this gap and makes this tackle. He just gets right by Lance Smith, and he's deep into that backfield. One thing, it's very tough to get angles on these defensive linemen because they're always offset and they move extremely well.
6'4", 285, but he says playing with pain makes him better.
I'm not sure I understand that.
3rd and 8. Tupa with all kinds of time. Lobs it high, but Novacek brings it in, and enough for the 1st down. So Tupa, with plenty of time, then at the last moment having to scramble, finds Jay Novacek for an 11-yard gain.
Outstanding decision this time from Tupa. He was close to being over the line of scrimmage, but notice how he takes full advantage of the 6'4" former decathlete, Jay Novacek. Good protection initially. It breaks down. Winston Moss is looking for Tupa, but now this is just an outstanding one-handed grab.
Said he pole vaulted 17 feet in college. He needed to go up just about that high to pull that one in. 1st and 10, ball at the 35 of Tampa. Earl Farrell, the lone back. Tupa. Complete to Roy Green. And Roy Green picks up about 8 on that play. Will bring up a 2nd and 2. And Roy Green, of course, was out injured for a few games with that fractured collarbone. Played a little tentative his first game back against Dallas, but Tupa says he's confident now. He's back 100%.
And he'll be a big part of this game plan today. The Cardinals want to get him single covered by Rod Jones.
2nd and 2 from the 27. 8:34 remaining in the first. No score. Out of the pro set, Farrell and Jordan. Tupper to pass. Looking in the direction of Robert Awalt, incomplete. Kevin Murphy. Good job of defending Awalt.
One thing that the coaching staff change, or the head coaching change, has done for the Cardinals is that it's given Jim Schaffner, the offensive coordinator, more of a free hand in calling the plays. Last year, the Cardinals were #1 in the league in offense, and it's primarily because of this man's design and his offense, plus the talented people they had at the skill positions. But look for the ball to be in the air from the Cardinals as well today.
3rd and 2. Wolfley, the lone back. Tupper, he has Awalt. A 20-yard pass play down to the 7.
Well, we got to look for Awalt to get involved in this offense, as well as Jay Novacek. A couple guys that haven't been as productive this year, but Tupa lays a perfect pass to him as he beats Harry Hamilton on the single coverage. One of the problems the Bucs have had in their last 5 games, they've only been able to pick up 8 sacks. To increase that, they've had to use more blitzes. That time they sent a couple of linebackers.
You had an amazing stat on the tight ends for Phoenix, not being very involved in the offense and not having any touchdowns. Farrell. And Farrell creates his own way as he gets inside the 5, a 3-yard run. And you saw that final score between Minnesota and Green Bay as Green Bay comes up with a 20-19 victory. Don Majkowski, 2 touchdowns to Sterling Sharp.
Don Majkowski is having a Pro Bowl year, as is Sterling Sharp. 2 big wins in a row for the Green Bay Packers, as they beat San Francisco last week. Now they take apart Minnesota, and they're in first place in the NFC Central. You know, the Bears are looking at that score as they're underway in Washington.
The Pack looks to be back. And Tony Jordan taking it down to about the 2-yard line. Harry Hamilton knocks him out of bounds, a 2-yard run.
Well, for the Cardinals to take this ball in and score a touchdown emotionally, it give this entire team as well as franchise a tremendous lift.
So Phoenix looking impressive on this drive. Oh, they'd love to do something about that.
Well, they've only kicked a couple of field goals the last 4 games in this first quarter, so a touchdown here is very important.
Farrell. Close, Farrell, but not enough.
Well, this will bring up Hank Kuhlman's first big decision as a head coach, whether you go for it or kick the field goal. Tony Jordan's in the ball game. There's no kicker out there, so Hank Kuhlman is at least pleasing the fans at this point. Good PR move, say the least.
And Tony Jordan comes in, and Errol Farrell comes out. So Hank Kuhlman with his first big decision as an interim head coach. Let's see what happens. And Jordan does not get it as he tried to go up top but was met in midair.
Outstanding job by the linebackers for the Buccaneers. Watch how they meet Tony Jordan in midair. There's Eugene Marv with the first dive. Now here's the plugger right here, and there's just no way Tony Jordan can get in the end zone without a lead fullback blocking for him.
We'd like to welcome those of you who are watching the Minnesota-Green Bay contest, a game in which Green Bay came away with a 20-19 victory. Here we've got Tampa and Phoenix going at it. No score, first quarter action. James Brown along with Dan Fouts. And Phoenix had an impressive drive, got down to the 1-yard line, but couldn't score.
Tony Jordan going over the top was pushed back by Eugene Marv and Kevin Murphy. But the score one for the new coach as far as making the fans happy. Went for it on 4th and 1.
And as a result, Tampa deep in its own territory on the 1, 2nd and 10. Tate. And Lars Tate running out of danger when it looked like he might have been grabbed in the backfield in the end zone. Comes away with an 8-yard run. Will bring up a 3rd and 2. Ken Harvey on the tackle.
Well, Lars Tate came very close not only to being tackled, but also breaking us for a large gain. Quarterbacks hate to have their feet in their opponent's end zone like Testaverde does that time. But good blocking, and Tate very patiently waits for it to develop, and now he gives him a chance to get in that first down.
3rd and 2. High right. Tate. And Lars Tate.
And this is going to be close also.
And they give it to him. So Lars Tate comes away with the first down. Dan, when you're this far in your own territory, what's the principal thing that the quarterback and the team is thinking with this field position?
Well, actually, the plays you run to go away from your end zone are the same type of plays you run to get in the end zone on the other end of the field. So very conservative type of play calling here. A lot of 2 tight ends, a lot of 2 backs, as you see the Bucs right now.
3:44 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Tampa 1st and 10. Ball at its own 11. And Howard running hard across the 15 to about the 16-yard line. Calling a pickup of 5 on a play. Will bring up a 2nd and 5.
Buffalo appears to be back on track. And look at the upset there. Miami, who had the easiest schedule of the playoff contending teams, losing to Pittsburgh at home.
And Kansas City, I think the road to the AFC title goes through Kansas City this year. 2nd and 5 out of the pro set. On the ground once again, Tate. And Tate smacked hard. Hits first by Tim McDonald. Finished up by Ken Harvey.
Well, Tim McDonald makes an all-pro play here as this action's coming to the right of our screen here. Lead blocker out in front is Mark Cooper, but watch McDonald just leap over that. That is an outstanding play. I know Lars Tate wasn't ready for that type of action, and the linebacker's there to clean it up, but McDonald has just really emerged as a leader on this football team.
Ball at the 19. Tampa needs to get to the 21 for a first down. 3rd and 2. Howard, the lone back. 3 wide receiver set for Tampa. Howard. He's got it. Plus a couple. So William Howard comes away with the first down for Tampa to keep that drive alive. A 6-yard gain by William Howard.
And the Buccaneers are showing that, hey, listen, we can run the ball on the ground even though we only have Howard and Tate as healthy backs. This is about 6 running plays in a row off their goal line.
Ray Perkins was as animated as I've ever seen him the day before a game, Dan. He normally has his game face on.
Well, you know, he's kind of changed the last couple of games. Opened things up more in his offense, maybe personally as well, in his dealings with us.
1st and 10 for the Bucs. Ball at the 25. Testaverde throwing to Bruce Hill. And Bruce Hill actually was turned around on the play, incomplete. Cedric Mack with the coverage.
Well, the Cardinals are going to be in man-to-man coverage 90% of the time today. Bruce Hill is in motion here. And he's being covered man-to-man by Cedric Mack. Quick out pattern, and Testaverde is off the mark. You've seen Testaverde miss twice today, throwing the ball a little bit high.
He's only 1 of 5 for 3 yards, that being Testaverde. So trying to get on track. 2nd and 10 out of the pro set. Ball at the 25. agrees to let the play stand with the fumble being recovered, but he was down by contact, a loss of 14 yards.
I think the referee, Jerry Markbright, really gave Testaverde a break here, because this ball appears to be slapped out of his hands before grasp and control is made by Harvey. There goes the ball even before Harvey has his left arm around Testaverde. That's a fumble all the way.
Absolutely.
Picked up by Carl Wilson for the touchdown, but I don't think they're going to be reviewing it. Clearly, the ball was out before Harvey had control of Testaverde.
Fans here know it. 3rd and 24. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Bruce Hill. So Tampa will have to punt this one away.
You know, that was only the 17th sack of the year for the Cardinals, but their secondary is doing an outstanding job of covering the Buccaneers wide receivers man-to-man. Again, Cedric Mack is right in front of Bruce Hill, and there's just no place for Testaverde to put that ball in.
Chris Moore on to punt for the Buccaneers. And the dangerous one, Buccaneers back to receive. Not a particularly good one from the 46, but Sikahema has no place to go. There is a flag on the play. A 35-yard punt by Chris Moore. And the flag was dropped way back at the 14-yard line.
I would expect the Cardinals to decline this penalty against Tampa and take the ball right where it is. They have excellent field position.
Illegal man downfield on the kick. Number 41, kicking team. Penalty decline. First down. Timeout.
All right, Coach, you're all over top of it. No score here in Tempe. 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We'll be back in just a moment. No score here in Tempe, and the debut of interim head coach Hank Coleman, who talked about the firing of Gene Stallings and the task at hand.
Larry Wilson about 4 o'clock asked me if I'd take over the team, and I said I would. And you know, my emotions were feeling hurt and for Gene and that, and then also, you know, somebody had to do this job, and I felt like I'm capable of doing it, so I accepted it.
Yeah, he talked also about this being on-the-job training, nothing like being under fire right away.
A man who's never served a day as a head coach of any team. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Ball at the 46 of Tampa. Tupa with all kinds of time. Throwing incomplete in the direction of Roy Green. You know, with this field position of Phoenix, this is their 3rd consecutive possession in Tampa territory.
Well, and that's very, very important for the Cardinals today, because that's the way you win football games, is controlling field position. Right now, they've done a fine job of it. Getting back to Koolman, though, not being a head coach ever, he was a special teams coach, which is as close as you can get to being a head coach, because you have to deal with all the players on the football team, all the different positions, and mold them into a special teams unit. So he has that type of experience. 2nd and 10. On the ground again, Jordan. And Jordan takes it up to around the 46, which is back again to the line of scrimmage. So the Tampa defense doing a good job of stringing things out here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. No score. First quarter action. James Brown along with Dan Fouts. And actually a pretty decent crowd considering the activities of this past week, and a number of people talking about not actually showing up in support of the fired Gene Stallings. Well, and it's a beautiful day. Not very hot, very comfortable for the fans. And a pretty daring call by Hank Coleman. Well, daring in one point, but he did run the ball 4 straight times from the 7-yard line. The last one where Tampa turned him away was a leap over the top, but that's what the fans wanted, and I think that's what his football team wanted, for them to go for it on that 4th and 1. Here we have a 3rd and 10 situation. Start of the second quarter. Tom Tupa at quarterback for the Cardinals. And Tupa has to run it and is roped down from behind by Sean Lee after a pickup of about 2, but clearly not nearly enough for the first down. So Phoenix will come on to punt once again.
And that was Sean Lee's second sack of the year, second-year player out of North Alabama. Rich Camarillo on to punt. Back deep is Willie Drury. Drury from the 11 and dropped right there. Give the credit to Michael Zordich. A 33-yard punt, no return. Michael Zordich hustling down on coverage. Tampa will start deep in its own territory. Ball on the 12, looking to get something generated. Only a total of 15 yards in the first quarter. Two tight end formation. This is Howard. And Howard takes it across the 15 for a 4-yard gain.
This is Freddie Joe Nunn, number 78, working against Rob Taylor. And this is going to be a good battle all day long because Freddie Joe Nunn is the best defensive lineman for the Cardinals, and that's a standoff right there. The reason the Bucs are in a two tight end offense is because they're one of their two healthy running back. Lars Tate has got a hip problem, and he's on the sidelines.
Went into the locker room for a little massage. 2nd and 6 for the Bucs. Howard again. And Howard running hard. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down marker as Ken Harvey stopped him after a 5-yard gain. Let's go back to New York for an update with Brent Musburger.
JB, everybody said the Chicago Bears were a lock. So you know what happens. Here come the Washington Redskins. 80 yards, Rippon drives him, then he hits Warren, and now it is 7-0. Back to JB.
All right, Brendan, certainly the Redskins are in a must-win situation. They lose that game, they're out of there. So ought to be a war at RFK. 3rd and 1. Howard. And Dan, from here, it looks like he's going to come up inches shy. We'll see where the ball is marked.
Of course, we're about as close as a blimp where we are, and it's going to be a first down, JB.
Without the aid of a telescopic lens.
Well, and Lars Tate's back in the lineup now, so that's good news for the Buccaneers because actually that's Sylvester Stamps in the game. So the Buccaneers have a real problem in running back position if Tate can't go.
So first down for Tampa. Ball marked at their own 23. Sylvester Stamps in at running back as well. And this is Stamps. And Stamps comes out doing something with it as he gets up near the 30-yard line. And there's a late flag on the play.
Looks like we might get a face mask call here. Stamps is one of those little guys at 5'7". Got to kind of just reach out and grab anything you can with a little guy running the ball like that.
As quickly as possible.
Face mask, number 46, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Tim McDonald. So Tampa gets a little help.
Well, let's check it out. Tim McDonald, that's Lonnie Young, number 43. He gets in on the hit. Here comes the face mask. McDonald's left hand as he's trying to, or actually it's his right hand, trying to unscrew his helmet.
1st and 10 for the Bucs. Ball at the 35. Stamps and Howard, the backs. Play action. Incomplete, thrown in the direction of the tight end, number 82, Ron Hall.
Ron Hall should get involved in this game plan today because the coverage on the wide receivers has been so good by the Phoenix cornerbacks that would make you believe that maybe let's go down to the tight end down the middle. The Cardinals are a unique defensive team in the fact that their safeties are so involved with the run, trying to make tackles along the line of scrimmage, and sometimes they're vulnerable to the tight end down the middle.
Testaverde having just a little difficulty getting untracked here. 1 of 7 for only 3 yards. 2nd and 10, ball at the 35. And this one is thrown incomplete in the hands, but juggled and dropped by Mark Carrier.
Well, this is probably Ray Perkins' worst nightmare, is to have his quarterback off to this type of start. Very important for the Bucs and this man here for Testaverde to carry things, especially with the problems as far as the injuries to their running backs are concerned. This is scary. We've seen Testaverde be either very, very good or very, very mediocre, as those stats are right there.
3rd and 10. Stamps in motion. And dropped again. Mark Carrier once again had the ball in his hands but dropped it.
But once again, it was behind him. So Carrier having difficulty adjusting to the ball. Penalty on the play also. And that really kills the Cardinals, because that's one of those things that Hank Coleman's talking about. Let's not beat ourselves.
Number 78, defense, 3rd down.
Freddie Joe Nunn, you were talking about Coleman?
Well, you want to beat the team. You want to have them beat you. You don't want to beat yourself. And penalties, turnovers, sacks, losses in the backfield when you're running the ball, all these things contribute to self-destruction.
Koeman also said that he wasn't going to try to play Mr. Know-It-All in this situation. He was going to turn over a lot of the decisions to his coaching staff. 3rd and 5 for the Buccaneers. Ball at the 40. Complete to Howard, and Howard has enough for the 1st down plus a bit more as he gets up near midfield, tackled by Anthony Bell.
Big play for William Howard coming out of the backfield. He's going to be a tired man after this ball game's over. As you can see, he's the only back in the backfield. He circles out here, and the Cardinals are in a zone, and the coverage is just a little bit late there coming from Anthony Bell.
Ray Perkins says he spends an awful lot of time with Testaverde trying to make certain he's making the right progress thought-wise as a quarterback.
It's one of those no stones unturned type of coaches.
1st and 10, ball at the 49, 10:51 remaining in the 1st half. No score as Testaverde trips. So Vinny Testaverde, don't know whether he actually got his foot caught on Randy Grimes's or not.
Well, he's got about a size 12, so there's a lot of service for him to catch his own foot here. We're not going to be able to tell probably from this picture, but this is the most embarrassing thing for a quarterback. Believe me, I've done this so many times. I used to have shoes that looked like they had tire tracks on the top of them.
Well, if in fact it was this kind of angle, would you blame it on somebody else in the film section?
Oh, wow, I'd blame him right there on the field as we're going back to the huddle. Stay off my feet.
2nd and 14. 3 wide receivers set in for the Bucs. Testaverde audibly. And throws it behind yet another receiver, Bruce Hill this time, and there is a flag on the play. So Testaverde having some difficulty not on target with his passes.
Well, if you notice that time, he was throwing the ball as he was backing up. And again, a real killer penalty for the Cardinals.
Holding, number 47, defense, automatic 1st down.
Cedric Mack.
Cedric Mack has been covering very closely today, but here he's trying to deny the inside to Bruce Hill, and I'm not so sure that's holding. That looked like a bad call because Hill got away from him so easily that it wasn't necessary for Mack to grab him. It didn't even look like Mack grabbed him at all.
Play action. Complete for the 1st time. 1st down, that is, and this is the 1st time that Carrier is able to hold on to it. So Testaverde and Mark Carrier hook up. Ken Harvey on the stop.
Excellent protection for Testaverde as he goes to the play action faking the ball to Stamps deep in the backfield. And there's single coverage outside for Carrier from Carl Carter, and he ran an outstanding pattern. And then look at how he keeps his wits about himself trying to get that extra yard.
And I'm sure uppermost in his mind was looking to make amends for those couple of drop passes there. And indeed he did on that play, an 18-yard pass play. Tampa down to the 32 of Phoenix on 1st down. This is Stamps. And Stamps maybe a yard on the play. Anthony Bell stops him.
And you got to wonder about the condition of Lars Tate's hip. As you said, James, he did go into the locker room for some type of treatment. May have a hip pointer, which is very painful. Stamps, if you recall, last week against the Bears, took a vicious lick over the middle of the field where he suffered not only bruised ribs, but a concussion. But he's back in the lineup, and see how long he can go. But there's Tate on the sidelines. You wonder if he'll get back in that lineup.
Stamps was hit hard last week by Mike Singletary. Williams back caused a concussion. On 2nd and 9. Complete to Carrier again for another first down. So Mark Carrier and Vinny Testaverde getting on the same page now.
Well, you wonder if Vinny falling down on his backside like he did maybe jarred something loose in him, because his last 2 passes have been perfect, right on the money. And you never know what gets a quarterback started. Maybe the old...
Well, I'm sure he doesn't want to fall again to lose that.
That's for sure.
8:03 remaining in the first half. No score between Tampa and Phoenix. Buccaneers on the march. 12th play of this drive coming up. Pumps once. Going up top was throwing for Bruce Hill, and there is a flag on the play. Cedric Mack looks to be the guilty party.
Well, we got a couple of flags on the play, James. One at the line of scrimmage, but also that one in the secondary. Pretty clear cut that may have been pass interference against Phoenix. But let's check out this other penalty that was thrown at the line of scrimmage. And it appears that we got offsetting penalties here. And that's a break for the Cardinals.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Holding, number 74, offense. Illegal contact foul. Number 47, defense. Penalties offset. First down.
Well, Coach, you're all over that one again.
Well, Paul Gruber got the one, and Cedric Mack the other. But you get the feeling that the Buccaneers are starting to get their passing game going a little bit. They're getting the single coverage outside that they anticipated coming into this ball game. And with Testaverde getting some protection, he appears to be getting back on track.
And Stamps taking it forward again for a 3-yard run. Will bring up a 2nd and 7.
Stamps is one of those backs that really doesn't have the size and strength to pull out of a lot of tackles. He is really effective as a receiver out of the backfield. He has great open field abilities.
Former Atlanta Falcons player. Stamps and Howard, the backs. Testaverde complete to Hill, and Hill down to the 5-yard line before being taken out of bounds by Carl Carter, and a first down for Tampa.
Well, some type of mix-up in the secondary here for the Cardinals. Number 84 is Bruce Hill. He's going to run just a quick out pattern here. Testaverde can't get the ball to him soon enough. There you see Lonnie Young maybe might have misread the coverage there.
Ball will be marked at the 4 of Phoenix, bringing up a 1st and goal ball at the 4 as Mark Carrier heads off the field. Bruce Hill being pushed hard by the rookie Danny Peoples, obviously looking for a big game, and he's getting it so far. Out of the eye. Stamps back near the line of scrimmage.
Well, what happened on this play, James, is that the fullback, William Howard, right here, goes this way. The problem is Vinny Testaverde's going to pitch the ball back to Stamps this way. Uh-oh, wrong way. Watch Howard look back. He knows he's in trouble there. You know, Stamps isn't a very big guy. He needs all the help he can get.
5'7", 180. And Carl Carter slowed him up, so a loss of a yard on the play will bring up 2nd and goal, ball at the 5. This drive has consumed 14 plays. Lob. Incomplete. Thrown in the direction of Mark Carrier. Jay Taylor on the coverage.
That's the timing pattern for the Buccaneers, as Testaverde just takes about 2 steps back and lets it go to the corner. Good coverage that time by Taylor, as he did not allow Carrier to get around and get any momentum towards that ball.
Bruce Hill. So Testaverde, first working to the right side of the end zone, comes back to the left and finds Bruce Hill, and the Bucks are on the scoreboard first as Hank Kuhlman looks on.
Now we'll check out Bruce Hill on the corner pattern here against Cedric Mack. Hill is in the slot, going to the corner. Excellent protection for Testaverde, and he just lofts it there, and that's as wide open as you'll ever see a wide receiver in the end zone.
Donald Igwe-Buike on for the point after. And it's good. So Tampa hits the scoreboard at the 6:01 mark thanks to that man there, Bruce Hill. Bucks lead it 7-0. So Ray Perkins talking to his troops, pleased that they're now out in front 7-0, finally on the scoreboard. 6:01 remaining in the first half, and Bruce Hill is being pressured quite considerably by the young man sitting next to him.
Yeah, Danny Peebles, in fact, in last week's game in that winning drive for the Buccaneers, Peebles was in the game and Bruce Hill was on the sidelines. Perkins' reasoning there is that, number one, he wanted to see what Peebles could do, but also that Bruce Hill was having trouble getting off the bump and run. Today, the Cardinals don't play bump and run, so Bruce Hill is off to a fine start.
And an impressive drive by Tampa, 16 plays covering 89 yards, 8:17 off of the clock. And Igwe-Buike gets a line drive. This one to Sikahema from the 4. And Sikahema across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Stopped by Jackie Walker. So it'll be Phoenix's ball when we come back after this. Overcast conditions here in Tempe.
Well, and if the fans haven't had enough problems this year with this heat out here in Phoenix, there's some rain in the air. What next for these poor Phoenix fans? Snow?
They'll take anything if they can get a winner. 2 tight end formation. And play is being stopped on the field here, and let's see if we can get some understanding as to why.
It appeared that they were checking the pounds per square inch pressure on the ball there or something.
Little tire gauge there.
See if there's enough air in the ball.
Well, Tupa decides to keep it on the ground as it goes to Earl Farrell, who takes it up to the 29-yard line, a gain of 3 on that play. Well, Chicago and Washington still battling hard. Let's go back and find out what's happening with Brent.
But, JB, not everyone sends a blocker after the kicker. The Bears elect to try and block everybody else, and Sanders busts it for a touchdown. But Irv Cross has been screaming that Green would have caught him. Let's go back to JB.
All right, Brenton, I thought Irv was supposed to be objective watching these games, but a good one indeed back there, 14-7. Tupa. Complete across the 40-yard line for the first down. This one to Roy Green. And Roy Green had to play the part of infielder with that one, a 12-yard pass play.
Well, when you get this type of time to throw, you're going to complete a lot of passes. Watch how the guys work up front here. There's nobody within 5 yards of Tupa as he stands there very calmly, and that's really a good throw, throwing it low to keep that receiver healthy.
4:45 remaining in the first half here. Tampa on top by a touchdown, 7-0. First and 10 for the Cardinals. Ball at the 40. And Tupa is dropped. So Tom Tupa dropped for a 7-yard loss, and give the credit to Rondi Weston.
Well, it was an outstanding job of the Buccaneers putting pressure on the old quarterback that time. They saw Tupa have time to throw on the play before. This time they come with a couple of linebackers. A lot of pressure on Tupa.
Giant defensive package in by the Buccaneers. Tupa back to pass on 2nd and 17. Throws it to no one in particular in the direction of Jay Novacek, but incomplete. So that will bring up a 3rd and 17.
Well, you were right, JB. He's throwing it to Novacek. This is good coverage by Bobby Futrell here as he denies Novacek the inside, but the ball is thrown way too high for even a fine athlete like Novacek to get a couple of hands up there. He needed that pull that time.
So take a look at Bobby Futrell. Novacek was pretty excited coming into today's game because he knew he'd be a bigger part of the offensive package. 3rd and 17. Tupa out of the shotgun. This is Novacek in motion. And it's complete near the 1st down marker. Ernie Jones to do the smart thing, and that's to punt that one away. Rich Camarillo, the punter. And this is Willie Drury, who lets that one fall, and it takes a good hit for Phoenix. A 43-yard punt by Rich Camarillo. And Tampa will start deep in its own holes.
Taken out by the return man.
And Tampa's got a tough job here, operating from their own 7. This is William Howard. And there's a flag on the play as Howard gets back near the line of scrimmage. Carl Carter on the tackle. And this doesn't help Tampa at all.
Now, the bad news is it's a penalty. The good news is it's just half the distance to the goal line. Only be about a 3.5-yard penalty.
Holding number 86, offense, 1st down.
That's William Harris, the tight end from Texas. Coming up next Saturday here on CBS Sports, an outstanding matchup, Alabama and Auburn, number 4 against number 10. That game for the first time ever will be played up at Auburn. And Ray Perkins certainly knows all about that matchup.
Well, he, trying to relate to us here in pro football, says that ball game is as big as the Super Bowl.
Of course, Ray Perkins, the coach at Alabama, before coming to Tampa. And Testaverde gets it away. They say he was not in the grasp, and the fans here have something again to scream about. Freddie Joe Nunn. And it certainly looks like the fans have some reason to gripe.
Well, I really think that our referee, Jerry Markbright, is 0 for 2 as far as his grasp and control rule is called. Freddie Joe Nunn has more control of Testaverde here than the play before when he fumbled the ball. There's Nunn. That's control, and it appeared, if you look at the referee, that he's just about to signal that that's a safety. Check out our official here. That's Jerry Markbright. And he just about raises his hands here to signify that that's a safety.
Meanwhile, on 2nd and 13, Stamps gets it across the 5.
That's a tough rule, though, that grasp and control. I've never quite understood the problems with it as far as the referees are concerned. It's such a judgment call, a spur-of-the-moment thing, but it really did appear, though, that Markbright was about to signal safety.
And I'm sure Freddie Joe Nunn was just having a quick little conversation with him, asking him, well, why not?
Yeah, what do you have to do? He had him in full control.
So Phoenix calls at 5:30 Eastern. 3rd and 11 for Tampa. And Testaverde throwing to Mark Carrier, and Carrier was covered like a blanket by Cedric Mack.
I think Testaverde really gets away with one here, as this is a real battle. It looks like a couple of guys in the low post going after it, trying to get position on each other. Again, Mack reads the pattern, knows the Carrier was going outside, and now here's the wrestling match. All very legal. Both guys were going for the ball.
So Chris Moore will come on to punt for the Bucs. Wysikahema back for the Cardinals. The Cardinals ought to come away with good field position.
Watch for the block here.
From the 46. Inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. A 40-yard punt by Chris Moore and a 12-yard return by Wysikahema, stopped by Odie Harris. And Sikahema really does amaze me here. 1st and 10, ball on the 35 of Tampa. Cooper complete to Don Holmes for the first down. Timeout remaining, Tampa with all 3 remaining. Hand off to Sikahema. And Wysikahema maybe with about a yard gain on the play. Clock running. On 2nd and 9, Tupa. Looking for Green. He's got him complete. Down to the 2-yard line. And Roy Green over on the side looked to have hurt his hand or his wrist.
Well, the sidelines are so close here at Tempe that what else can happen to this football team? Outstanding grab by Roy Green, and Tupa throws his best pass of the day. Green is in the slot here, number 81, and he's going to run the corner pattern, and he's going to get double covered at the end of it. Good protection for the quarterback. There's the double coverage, and it appeared that Green just reached out and grabbed the back end.
1st and goal, ball marked at the 2. Farrell. Forward motion, about a yard gain. Irvin Randall on the stop.
Boy, on the stop is right. Irvin Randall really blasted Farrell in the hole. It appeared that he was going in for a touchdown, but that hand is really bothering Roy Green as he tried to break his momentum going into that wall.
Just coming off of an injured fractured collarbone, right collarbone, and now that right hand of his is giving him problem as he's being attended to by the medical staff of the Cardinals.
And we got the medical staff for the Buccaneers out on the field checking out one of the Bucs. We'll check out Green's injury. First, let's notice this grab as he just catches the back end of the ball, gets pushed out of bounds, and goes all the way to the sidelines here. You see the padding give way for his left hand, but not his right hand. And that was the hand he was carrying the ball in, so he was really defenseless going into that wall. I got a feeling he'll be back, though. You don't play 11 years in this league like Roy Green and let a little injury like that keep you out.
Meanwhile, Harry Hamilton of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers limps off the field. Of course, Hamilton was playing the game with a very tender knee.
And that knee has gotten a lot more tender. That is an ugly-looking limp for Harry Hamilton. I doubt we'll see him the rest of the day.
And coming up at halftime, don't forget that Brenton Irv will be in the New York studio bringing you up to date with all the scores and highlights and the latest information from around the league.
That kind of limp there is one that you don't want to see on any ball player. Tough guy, Harry Hamilton.
2nd and goal, ball at the 1. Tupa throws it incomplete. Threw it in the direction of Walter Reeves. And Tupa was fortunate just to get rid of that one.
Well, this turned out was going to be a bootleg all the way with Tupa running the ball. But you can see the linebacker there, Eugene Marv. He sniffs out the play. Tupa does an outstanding job of getting rid of this ball and avoiding the big sack there that would have taken them off the goal line.
Mark Robinson with a great defensive play. 3rd and goal. Two tight end formation. Farrell. Touchdown, Phoenix.
Well, this time the Cardinals used the lead back, Ron Wolfley, to get Earl Farrell in the end zone. Number 24 is Wolfley. Watch him lead on this linebacker, and Farrell is into the end zone for a big touchdown for the Phoenix Cardinals. Irvin Randall with just a shoulder, but at 250 pounds, Earl Farrell is going to win that battle each time.
A good job by Wolfley, who actually took out two Tampa Bay players. Al Del Greco will attempt the point after. And it's good. So with 1:09 remaining in the first half, the Cardinals tie it up at 7 apiece.
And that shows you just how important.
So with 1:04 remaining in the first half, Tampa will take over.
And Tampa has a lot of time with 1 minute and 4 seconds. Plus, they've got 2 timeouts. And they have pretty good field position, because right now, Ray Perkins and the Bucs offense, they're thinking one thing. They're thinking 3 points to take the lead to go in at halftime.
And they've got a good one on the sidelines there. Donald Igwe-Buike, get him somewhere from the 50 in, and he's dangerous. First and 10, ball on the 36. 1:04 remaining in the first half. Testaverde going for carrier. Incomplete. 3 wide receiver set. Bucks on the ground to Howard. Howard tripped up. Maybe a 3-yard run. Jim Waller trips him up. Kickers in the lead. 3rd and 7. Testaverde incomplete, throwing to Danny Peoples. And Cedric Mack was all remaining in the first half. Chris Moore to punt. By Sikahema back for the Cardinals. And Moore has the punt block. Ron Wolfley. And it looks like Ron Burton recovered it.
Well, we talked about Coleman being a special teams coach, and he felt very confident yesterday in talking to him that they could block Chris Moore. Now, Moore, that's the first block of the year against him, but a lot of teams have gotten close, and this old special teams coach is extremely happy and proud of his special teams.
On the play, the punt with his credit.
Watch the pressure right up the middle as a bunch of guys had a shot at this. Wolfley lays out, and he gets all of this ball. And then Ron Burton, showing that he's a true linebacker, just falls on it instead of picking it up and running it in for 6.
Ball is at the 16 of Tampa. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. And a 3rd low snap. And Tupa makes something of it, throwing complete to Jay Novacek. An 8-yard pickup on the play.
Really a big play for the Cardinals to get this ball back within the 1-minute mark of this first half. After just scoring, they turn away the Buccaneers, keep them from getting 3 points. They come with the big play on the special teams, and they're knocking on the door. Very good position to add to their lead.
When Coleman was the special teams coach at Green Bay, his team set a league record with 14 block punts in 12 games. He said, I know special teams. 2nd and 3. Ball at the 9. Tupa throwing in the direction of Jay Novacek, and flags are thrown everywhere on that side of the field. Bobby Futrell attempting to cover Novacek.
Well, the question here that they're talking about, is this against Phoenix or is this against Tampa? Because if it's against Phoenix, it was because of a pick play where they're trying to get Novacek to the corner with a wide receiver coming in and almost blocking the defensive cornerback off of Novacek. This could go literally either way, as most penalties could.
Holding number 36, defense, automatic first down.
And that's Bobby Futrell.
Well, this is Futrell working against Novacek. And the receiver's going to come from the outside as well, trying to pick Futrell off. He doesn't. That's a clean play for the Cardinals and a good call on the holding call against Futrell.
Futrell was holding for about a good 30 seconds of the coverage.
He was holding on for dear life.
Brings up a 1st and goal. Ball at the 4. 33 seconds remaining in the first half. Tupa back to pass. Threw it a little too hard. Intended receiver was Ernie Jones.
Here's Ernie Jones in motion, number 86, and the Buccaneers are in a full-out blitz. Tupa sees it, goes to the right man, but inexperience, he just throws this ball way too hard for Jones to make the grab.
Got a little too excited.
Well, when you see that blitz coming and you see the man-to-man coverage, you tend to get excited.
Roy Green to the top of your screen. 2nd and goal. Ball at the 4. 29 seconds remaining. Going for Green. And overthrows him again. Now, Tupa was the one getting most of the time working at quarterback this week in practice with the receivers.
But his experience level is such that this is only his 13th start, if I can say that without sounding like Don Coryell. His 13th start since he was in high school. Only started his senior year at Ohio State. This is his 2nd start in the NFL, so his experience level is not what you'd like to see in a starting quarterback yet.
Wolfley and Farrell the backs on 3rd and goal.
315. Set.
Tupa throws it incomplete. Tried to drill it in there to Ernie Jones.
Mark Robinson made an outstanding play as Tupa, trying to get Jones in the back of the end zone, drilled it, as you said, JB, but this is outstanding coverage from number 30, Mark Robinson. Big hole in the back there. That's what Tupa's looking at, but watch Robinson just lay out, get a hand on it, and almost intercept it.
Mark Robinson having himself a fine season, 6 interceptions as well. This will be a 21-yard field goal attempt by Al Del Greco. Up, and it's good. So the Cardinals come away with the field goal, move out in front by 3 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 18 seconds remaining in the first half. Del Greco with the line kick. Picked up at the 10-yard line. And up to about the 25, Frank Pillow. So Tampa will have 13 seconds. And again, if they can get the ball up in field goal range for Igwe Buike, he could do some damage.
Well, they'd have to hit it all on this play, but the Buccaneers defense really dodged a bullet in keeping Phoenix out of that end zone, because Phoenix had a lot of momentum after stopping the Bucs on offense and blocking that punt.
Well, it appears that Ray Perkins doesn't want to do anything to give the Cardinals any kind of an opening to go in for another score.
This is this 6 here in the loss column, because probably be good enough to get in the playoffs. The problem, though, is that we have a lot of teams still left in the NFL that have a chance at those 2 wild card spots.
If you take a look at the NFC Central Division, action strong there. Tampa Bay still mathematically has a shot at it.
But again, there's a lot of teams ahead of them, and if Chicago were to go on today and beat the Redskins, then we'd have a 3-way tie for the Central Division. But really what we're talking about is 2 things, mathematics and reality.
Mathematically, both these teams are in it. Realistic.
The loss column because
Probably be good enough to get in the playoffs. The problem, though, is that we have a lot of teams still left in the NFL that have a chance at those 2 wild card spots.
But you take a look at the NFC Central Division. Action strong there. Tampa Bay still mathematically has a shot at it.
But again, there's a lot of teams ahead of them, and if Chicago were to go on today and beat the Redskins, then we'd have a 3-way tie for the Central Division. But really what we're talking about is 2 things, mathematics and reality. Mathematically, both these teams are in it. Realistically, I don't like their chances.
A lot of talk about some of the leading candidates for the head coaching job here. Of course, you hear the name, the big fella, Peters, Floyd Peters up in Minnesota. You've heard the name of the Los Angeles Rams defensive coordinator,
Fritz Shermer, and also Fresno State's head coach, Jim Sweeney, who was an assistant with the Cardinals a few years ago. So Larry Wilson is looking fireworks to them.
Well, if Coleman is not a legitimate candidate, then perhaps this could be an effective 5-game audition for him. Donald Igwe-Buike kicking off for the Bucs. And this will be Sikahema taking it at the 4. And running hard, dropped at about the 24-yard line. So Tom Tupa will come on. And you really love the special teams play. I mean, you really keep a good eye on what's happening with the special teams coverage.
Well, Sam Ano is one of the better coverage guys in the league, and he really got down there and closed that hole. It appeared that Sikahema had a bit of a lane there to get through.
1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Ball at their own 24. Just underway in the 3rd quarter here. Phoenix on top, 10-7. Earl Farrell, the lone back, and the ball carrier. Running hard for about 3 yards. Will bring up a 2nd and 7.
You wonder about the topic of conversation in the Buccaneer locker room from Ray Perkins. He's got to be a little bit upset with the play of his ball club today. Although coming in, he was aware that the Cardinals could play very inspired football.
Ball at the 27, 2nd and 7. Tony Jordan, the lone back for the Cardinals. Jordan, the ball carrier. Breaks a couple tackles, but couldn't get much further. Irvin Randall on the tackle, and a loss of 2 on the play. And Earl Farrell was in motion that time and limping, and he comes off the field.
Yeah, it looked like Hopalong Cassidy here, number 31, as he is going in motion before this ball is handed off. Fine play, though, by number 59, Kevin Murphy, at the point of attack as he slows Tony Jordan down and allows that fine pursuit of the Buccaneers to drop him for a loss.
Brings up a 3rd and 9 situation for the Cardinals. 4 wide receiver set. And Tupa throwing for Vi Sikahema turns him around, incomplete. So 3 and out for the Cardinals.
And 3 and out's very important for the Buccaneers, because you know that halftime talk from Perkins was about, hey, listen, let's get things going here. We're a better football team than these Cardinals, and set the tone defense. 3 plays and out, we'll get the ball back in good field position.
Dan, do you think a lot of it is mental? When Tampa beat Chicago the first time, that started a 5-game slide, and as you mentioned, the first half a little sluggish here.
Well, a lot of this game is mental. How you prepare yourself after a big win is very important.
Camarillo pushing Willie Drury back at the 18. A 56-yard punt, a 9-yard return, and Don Holmes wraps him up. No bigger rivalry in all of college football than this one here, Alabama-Auburn. This one taking place up at Auburn. And Ray Perkins says, to show you how big the people down in that state take that game, he had a picture sent to him of an old house, and the only new thing in front of the house was a sign painted, Auburn, Alabama. throws complete to the 40, complete to Mark Carrier. 12-yard pass play, good for a first down.
Not only good for a first down, but good news for the Bucks, because Lars Tate, there you see him, number 34, is back in the lineup. Playing with a tender hip, but good to see him back in there.
12:42 remaining in the third period. Cardinals up by 3. On the ground, Tate. Flags thrown on the play, and Tate run out of bounds at the 45. 5-yard run by Lars Tate, but let's check the call.
It's going to be holding against number 43, William Howard, as the Bucks try the sweep play.
Holding, number 43, offense, first down.
Well, unfortunately, that's number 43 on the defense, but here he is. This is William Howard. He's going to come out here and hold Anthony Bell, number 55. Wraps him up. Nice tackle for William Howard. Unfortunately, Bell didn't have the ball.
The quarterback's eyes seem to feel.
Well, it's easy to pick out the guilty guys because there's 4 guys on defense pointing right at him.
First and 20. And Howard gets only about 4 of those back.
The Buccaneers offense, though, aside from their one scoring drive, has looked out of sync for the better part of this day. Testaverde's been off the mark. The protection hasn't been too bad for him, but the coverage in the secondary has been excellent.
On 2nd and 20, Testaverde back to pass. Has to run it. And gets it out of bounds up near the 44-yard line. He's going to be about 6 yards shy of the first down as Carl Carter ran him out of bounds. Gain of 14 on the play. Sun Devil Stadium here in Tempe, Arizona. Good clear skies at this point, changing skies here. And Phoenix right now on top by the score of 10-7. James Brown along with Dan Fouts. I was asking Vinny Testaverde, had he learned the art of the slide yet? And he says, yeah, if in fact I have to, I absolutely know when to do it.
It's tough to slide 6 feet 5 inches of body there.
A 3rd and 6 play for the Buccaneers. Throws it incomplete. So Tampa will have to boot this one away.
Well, Testaverde almost got lucky on this pass because Carrier is not the intended receiver. Going for Tate out of the backfield, it goes through his hands, and here Carrier has almost picked this one off his shoe tops. Made a big catch against San Francisco on a similar type of play in the second game of the year.
I bet you Testaverde will tell you he was throwing for Carrier.
You bet he would. He's probably mad Carrier didn't make the grab.
Chris Moore on to do the punting. And Sikahema picks it up and dives forward for about a yard. Alert and always on top of it. Tom Tupa comes on, and we'll be back in just a moment. See ya. Next Sunday, your day gets started with the NFL Today coming your way at 12:30 Eastern Time. Then some of you will see a Central Division battle between Green Bay and Tampa, and of course, the big clash between Washington and Phoenix. That's next Sunday right here on CBS. First and 10 for the Cardinals. Ball marked at their own 20. Farrell limping in motion again. Play action. Complete to Farrell. And Farrell takes it up to the 25. A gain of 5 on that play will bring up a 2nd and 5.
Well, maybe Earl Farrell's playing a little possum here, JB. Here he is, number 31, in motion. And he's going to limp across this backfield set, maybe thinking that the Bucs won't go after him and cover him. But he doesn't fool Winston Moss for long, or Rod Jones. But he did pick up a nice little gain on first down.
Ball is marked at the 26, so we'll call it a 2nd and 4. I don't think they'll go for that limp fake anymore. Tupa complete to Jones for the first down. So Tom Tupa was looking Ernie Jones in all the way. 13-yard pass play.
Watch the pass protection for Tupa. Coming into this game, the Cardinal quarterbacks had been sacked 37 times. Today, the Bucs have only got 1 sack on Tupa, and that bodes well for the Cardinals' offense. Keep that quarterback healthy. You're going to move the ball.
Tony Jordan and Earl Farrell, the backs. First and 10. Ball at the 39. And the handoff on the ground to Farrell, who gains 1 yard on the play up to the 40. Reuben Davis on the stop. Reuben Davis and Pig Goff, down lineman for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, both playing hurt today, but Reuben Davis, believe it or not, says playing with pain really does elevate me to a higher level of performance.
Well, what it does is it forces him to concentrate more, and it motivates him. He says, listen, our entire defensive line has a total disrespect for our bodies. We don't care if we're hurt, we're going to play hard.
On 2nd and 9, incomplete. The intended receiver was Robert Awald. Eugene Marv on the coverage.
We'll take a look at Davis. He's coming in with a bad ankle. Feels like he's about 80%. Number 79 working against Tootie Robbins. Robbins is a big fella at about 320 pounds, and he does a nice job of riding Davis by the quarterback. Important to notice there, though, that the quarterback was stepping up into the pocket, kind of the eye of the storm, where everything is nice and calm. Let everything fly around the perimeter there. Step up, get off the ball.
Can you be calm there?
No, no way. You got a grenade in your hand.
3rd and 9. Tupa complete to Jones for the first down inside the 40. 21-yard pass play.
Well, when you give a quarterback time to throw, he can do some nice things. Tupa lets this ball go very early, long before Ernie Jones is even out of his break, but he has such confidence in Jones that he lets it go early and picks up a big first down.
Tom Tupa, after his debut this season, throwing 6 interceptions in a contest against Philadelphia, playing and feeling a lot more confident. Tupa audibly at the line. I formation. Incomplete, throwing it for Roy Green and Rod Jones. Perfect coverage that time.
Really good. You know, Jones was just beat by Ernie Jones. Rod Jones against Ernie Jones. This time it was Jones against Green, and boy, score 1 for Rod Jones as he read that pattern from Roy Green and broke it up nicely.
Battle down in Washington, D.C. Boy, take a look at that. John Elway, sick last week after eating something bad at the White House, couldn't play, comes back with 4 first-half touchdowns, and they are just absolutely shellacking Seattle.
Must have Pepto for a pregame meal.
3 wide receiver set here on 2nd and 10. And Tupa throws incomplete, and Dan, it looked like Tupa had a little case of the nervous feet that time as he underthrows the intended receiver, Jay Novacek.
Well, Kurt Jarvis was scrambling around his ankles there, and Tupa was aware of it. And he probably couldn't step into that throw as much as he would like to. Number 95 is Jarvis working on the center here. He gets through Wolfley, but he's scrambling the whole way. Tupa doesn't really step into this throw and comes up short to Novacek.
We'll bring up a 3rd and 10 situation. Take a look at Phoenix's numbers on 3rd down conversions. 4 wide receiver set. Novacek in motion. And a low snap, the 4th one of the game, and this one is tipped and caught. Don Holmes. Talk about great concentration on the part of Don Holmes as that ball was tipped. He takes it for the 1st down plus a whole bunch more.
Tupa throwing all the way to Don Holmes. As this ball is deflected, he makes a nice grab here. Now they're questioning as to whether it was a complete pass or not down on the field.
And there is a flag on a play, a late flag at that.
Pass interference. Number 85, offense. 3rd down.
Wow, they called this one on Jay Novacek, so boy, a big play nullified.
And the Phoenix Cardinals have to be arguing that the ball was tipped. Once the ball is tipped, there is no pass interference. Obviously, the referee didn't see that the ball was tipped. We'll check out the tip here from Mark Robinson, number 30. Now, once the ball is hit by a defender, there can be no pass interference one way or the other.
Clearly, that was a catch. Well, instead of a 1st and 10 inside the 20, we've got a 3rd and 20 situation, but play is being stopped and is being reviewed upstairs. L.T. Bonner up in the replay booth is taking a look at the play.
Well, in L.T. Bonner last week, he reviewed 14 plays without one reversal. Already today, we've had 2 plays reviewed with no reversal. So I wouldn't expect LT to reverse this one, would you?
Good to know the history.
Well, let's play percentages here.
We had offensive pass interference on number 85. It's 3rd down again after a 10-yard penalty.
Well, he's keeping his streak intact.
Novacek on the pass interference. But they're still looking at something in the replay booth because Mark Bright hasn't signaled the ball ready for play. And everybody's ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Here's Novacek on this pass interference call as he really blasts into Bobby Futrell.
And the umpire is the one who actually does the communicating with the replay booth, and in this case, that's Al Conway, number 27, down on the field, and you can see him holding his earpiece, still trying to check to make absolutely certain that he's got the directions clear.
It would be nice to know what they're talking about so we can tell the people at home.
3rd and 20 for the Cardinals. Ball at the 49 of Tampa, and there's a flag on the play as Tampa was offsides, but whether or not they were drawn offsides, and Tupa is slammed down by Rondy Weston after the whistle, and the fans here are very upset about it.
I bet Tupa's not feeling too happy about it either. Clearly the whistles were blowing. Offsides against Tampa. Now sometimes the officials have bad days too.
What's the number?
What's the number? We'll pick one out for you. How about 79 or 94? There's a couple of them outside.
We'll start number 68, offense.
And 68 is Joe Wolf. So they say Joe Wolf, the rookie out of Boston College, was moving along the left side of that line, and that drew Tampa off.
Here's Wolf, number 68, right in here. Let's check out if he does flinch just a little bit. Well, his hands did. His hands moved just a touch. And I guess that was enough to bring the Bucks off sides.
Will make for a 3rd and 25 situation. And I'm sure as an ex-quarterback, you can appreciate defensive players keeping themselves in check and not getting a free shot at the quarterback.
Yeah, that looked like a little extracurricular hit.
Chip Lowmiller's 29-yard field goal has Washington out in front by 3 over Chicago, as Tupper on 3rd and 25 going up top for Don Holmes, and he's out of bounds, incomplete. Rod Jones providing the coverage. So Phoenix will bring on Rich Camarillo to punt this one away.
Don Holmes looks like he's playing up in Canada where that field's about 65 yards wide. He was about 5 yards out of bounds trying to make that grab. Let it go.
Willie Drury back to receive this Camarillo punt, and a low snap. Drury from the 8. 4-yard return only, 48-yard punt. Ilya Jarashchuk on the tackle, and he motions heat up, and I'm sure the guys are doing nothing more than discussing the state of the stock market, and we'll find out the results when we come back. We'd have it done in another 30 seconds.
Not much.
Sun Devil Beach. On 1st and 10, this is William Howard. And Howard smacked hard back near the line of scrimmage.
And, you know, I think we got to go back and give some credit to Rich Camarillo, who's having an outstanding year, leading punter in the NFC, and he has pinned the Buccaneers deep in their own end of the field a couple of times today. He's having an all-pro type of year.
Well, Dan, just to embellish the point you made earlier about running a conservative offensive package when you're down that far, obviously that means you don't have the full package to work with. 2nd and 10. Complete to Hill. And Bruce Hill. Comes through with the big reception and the first down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, for one of the few times in the game, the Cardinals secondary is going to be in a zone coverage here. As you see, Tim McDonald, number 46, let the receiver go and then just take an area of the field. But he should have been out just a little bit further, covering where Bruce Hill was to make that reception.
Ball at the 24, 1st and 10, 7:54 remaining in the 3rd quarter. On the ground again as William Howard takes it across the 30. A 7-yard gain will bring up a 2nd and 3.
Part of the conservative type of play calling that we're seeing from Ray Perkins is the fact that, listen, his quarterback's not having exactly the best day. He's been off target quite a bit. Secondary coverage for the Cardinals has been very good. A lot of man underneath and 2 deep zone type of coverages.
2nd and 3 from the 31. Howard again. And William Howard trying to bull his way forward for a couple of yards. Will bring up a 3rd and 1 situation.
So Jim Waller getting excited there, the rookie from UCLA. Big win today for the Green Bay Packers as they put together 2 big wins in a row.
Cincinnati thought they were back on track, but not the case today.
Pittsburgh, kind of a strange team, been shut out a couple of times today. Big win today over Miami.
And Kansas City, boy, they are really playing some tough football. Christian Okoye, 260 pounds. Boy, does he run hard. Not a good day for Atlanta up in New York. On 3rd down, this is Howard again, and Howard running hard for the first down. So William Howard 6 feet, 240 pounds, bowls his way forward.
And he did just that, just enough to get that first down. But the key thing is that he is really running hard and running really as the main guy in the backfield.
Howard 11 carries for 35 yards. And Jerry Markbright wants to have this one measured. Boy, I tell you, the spot, is it all important, Dan?
Yeah, that was close. That was close.
I mean, even from up here without the telescopic lens.
Well, you got to. The defense does have the right to call for a measurement, even though that one was made by about a yard. You got to wonder about the eyesight of some of these Cardinals if they thought that was close.
1st and 10 for the Bucs. Ball at the 35. 5:48 remaining in the third quarter. Testaverde. Flag on a play. And Testaverde throws it away. Now there's a flag at about the 46-yard line.
And Testaverde was across the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball. So the one penalty in the secondary may be holding against the Cardinals. Definitely Testaverde was across the line of scrimmage when he let it go.
We have an illegal contact foul on 56 defense. We have an illegal forward pass. Number 14 from beyond the line of scrimmage. Penalties offset. First down.
Ken Harvey and Vinny Testaverde, the two numbers called out on those offsetting penalties. William Howard and Sylvester Stamps the backs. Howard the up back. Play action. Testaverde complete to Hill. He's going to be shy of the first down marker as Lonnie Young was on top of him. Check that, call it Mark Carrier, 7-yard pickup. Let's go back up to New York and check in with Brent Musburger. Brent, and there were a number of people around Washington wondering if Joe Gibbs was actually kind of burned out, and looks like he's got his team fired up to play some strong football today. Testaverde complete for the first down inside the 45, and a late flag thrown back at about the 43. Bruce Hill, the wide receiver, catching that one, and you can tell by Hill's reaction that this one goes against Tampa. So a 15-yard pass play is nullified.
Pass interference, number 43, offense, second down.
That is second penalty for William Howard today, but this is a fine pass and catch for the Buccaneers. We don't see the penalty in this picture, but this is a type of play that Tampa will go to often, and Perkins especially when he feels his quarterback's a little bit out of sync. That's just a quick 3 or 4 step drop and fire that slant in there.
Willie Drury comes on to replace Sylvester Stamps. Take a look at Ray Perkins. Over the last 6 weeks, the Bucs have averaged 30.3 points per game. 2nd and 13, 3 wide receiver set. And a flag is thrown on the play. Now, there certainly was enough time left on the 30-second clock. There were 5 seconds. I wonder if they had too many men on the field.
First charge timeout, Phoenix.
So Phoenix got the timeout in quickly. And Coleman's Chargers in charge right now by 3. 4:19 remaining in the third quarter. Phoenix on top 10-7, and seemingly a strange timeout called then.
Well, Tim McDonald didn't know if they had enough men on the field because Jay Taylor just snuck on to cover the wide receiver out here.
2nd and 13 for the Bucs. Testaverde back to pass. Under pressure and loses the ball. And Phoenix looks to have recovered. They did.
Good pressure from the Cardinals defensive line. The first guy that has a shot at Testaverde is number 66, Jim Waller. As he comes clear, Testaverde carrying the ball out in one hand. Here's Rod Sadler showing the athlete he is. He swats the ball out of Testaverde's right hand. And Freddie Joe Nunn with the recovery, just inbounds. Cardinals in business inside the 20.
Only the second fumble lost by Testaverde this year as Phoenix drives it straight ahead. Tony Jordan, the ball carrier that time.
And that ball was real close to going out of bounds, but on this soft, natural surface, beat up as it may be, that ball died before it went out of bounds, giving the Cardinals the opportunity to get on top of it as they did.
Second and 7. Tupa throws complete to Awalt. Down to the 11. So about a 6-yard pass play. Call it 7.
He's got the ball from Tupa.
Bring up a 3rd and 1 situation. Ron Wolfley, the lone back. Ball marked at the 11 of Tampa. Novacek in motion. Throws it incomplete in the direction of Jay Novacek. Overthrows the intended receiver. Will bring up a 4th down situation, and it appears that Hank Kuhlman is going to go for the field goal instead.
Yeah, that's a long one. That's closer to the 2 yards. So that not much of a decision made here from Kuhlman. Del Greco very accurate from this range.
Here are the numbers. 10 consecutive. This will be a 28-yard field goal attempt by Al Del Greco. It's up, and it's good. So Phoenix increases its lead to 6. Al Del Greco gets up a short one, taken by Donnie Elder. And Elder pushes his way across the 30 to about the 31-yard line, which is where Vinny Testaverde will take over. Having a bit of a rough afternoon, 9 of 22, only 92 yards. And as Dan Fouts mentioned, Ray Perkins, as a result, has been sticking with the ground game more than the passing game.
Well, and these 35,000 fans or so that are here at Sun Devil Stadium are starting to get on Vinny a little bit. You can hear the Vinny call. I'm glad they didn't invent that when I was playing.
The last time Vinny was here was back in 1987.
And that's a day he'd like to forget. All those interceptions against Penn State.
14-10 loss in the Fiesta Bowl. Testaverde throws that one complete across the 35 to Mark Carrier. Call it a 5-yard pass play. Bring up a 2nd and 5.
Single coverage for Carrier against Cedric Mack. A lot of cushion there. The respect that Mack has for Carrier in the year he's having.
Boy, that field doesn't look in very good shape.
Well, you know, it's a natural surface, but the players, they tend to refer to it as Astro Dirt.
And rightfully so. 2nd and 5. Still in motion. Swing pass to Stamps. And Stamps runs hard for the 1st down. There's a flag on the play. as Sylvester Stamps takes this one across the first down marker, but let's check the call. And Tampa hurting itself.
Pass interference, number 84, offense, second down.
Bruce Hill.
The reason Stamps is so wide open is because Hill comes down from the outside, and he's going to pick one of these linebackers or defensive backs as Stamps is on the swing pass. There he comes right there, hits that linebacker who was assigned to covering Stamps out of the backfield. Good call.
Best penalty of the afternoon against Tampa. Loss of 38 yards in the play, or rather total. Testaverde back to pass on 2nd and 16. Under pressure. And it looked like Freddie Joe Nunn had him any number of times.
Well, he grabbed him, he controlled him, let him go. He grabbed him, controlled him. He was just trying to make his point to Mark Wright. Hey, this is what a sack looks like today. Outstanding effort for Freddie Joe Nunn.
4th sack of the afternoon, loss of 21 total yards.
And Freddie Joe is going to come and chase Testaverde all the way back to the 5-yard line. There he is, number 78. He's got him there. Let's go. Grabs him. And that's a big sack.
What would you say, Dan? Grabbed him, held him, let him go, pushed him, grabbed him again.
You know, all these fans have forgot all about the coach being fired on Monday. All they're thinking about now is this football team winning a ball game.
And we've got a timeout down on the field as Tampa Bay wants to discuss things as Testaverde, as you said before, back at the site where he did not have a very good game in 1987 when he was still in college.
Well, Testaverde's going over the sideline for one reason. He's got to have the coach thumb through that playbook and find the page that says what play you run on 3rd down and 36, because that's the situation he's facing right now.
Well,
but you
although
have
in the season
seen,
he has improved overall.
Oh yeah, definitely, and a lot of the credit is due to his head coach Ray Perkins. Has limited the offense to begin the year, has tried to build up Vinny's confidence, and has done a nice job. But this is a rough afternoon for Testaverde. The Cardinals are coming up with sacks from their defensive line, and their secondary is covering the wide receivers. One thing that Hank Pullman told us before the game is that Peebles
will not beat our football team today.
On 3rd and 36, complete to Alvin Mitchell. And Mitchell gets it up to about the 16-yard line. It's going to be about some 16 or 17 shy of the first down.
Yeah, but what that does is that gets their kicker, their punter, Chris Moore, some breathing room. Remember, the Cardinals blocked one at the end of the first half that set them up for 3 points. So this gives Moore a little bit more breathing room.
And Coleman said his troops will be going after every punt possible. Chris Moore can expect some heat on this one. Gets it away without much heat. Sakahima from the 46. A flag down on the field, back at the 20. As Vai Sakahima takes it across and up to about the 43-yard line. And an ineligible man downfield. 39-yard punt, 13-yard return.
Illegal man downfield on the kick, number 41, penalty declined, first down.
Well, 6 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Phoenix on top, 13-7. And Washington moving out in front of Chicago. Boy, well, this will be a devastating loss to Chicago. Washington absolutely needing a victory.
Well, Chicago will drop to the 500 mark. When's the last time you saw Chicago with only 6 wins, 12 games into the season?
Boy, I hate to hear Mike Ditka's talks. Well, matter of fact, the last several weeks.
He may be running out of things to say to that group.
This should be the last play of the 3rd quarter. as Tupa keeps it on the ground, and Earl Farrell goes ahead for a couple. That's the end of the third quarter with the score Phoenix 13, Tampa Bay 7. We now pause for a word from your local station.
We got a ball game here. We got a finish coming.
Thank goodness. The Cardinals, ball at the 43 of Tampa. Tupa, incomplete, nearly picked off, and a very late flag thrown. Harry Hamilton back in action after it looked as if he had sustained a knee injury that might keep him off of the field. Had that one in and out. And this one goes against Phoenix.
Well, Tupa's very lucky that this ball was not intercepted by Hamilton, because he threw into that old thing they call double
Holding
coverage.
number 68, offense, second down.
Joe Wolf. As a matter of fact, Tim McDonald asked Tom Tupa before the game not to do something.
Well, Tim McDonald has 6 interceptions, as does Harry Hamilton and his running mate Mark Robinson. So McDonald doesn't care if Robinson and Hamilton get interceptions. He just doesn't want to see them today.
2nd and 20. 4 wide receiver set. Sekahima the lone back. Novacek in motion. And completes a Novacek. Novacek inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. 9-yard pass play. Well, big doing still taking place back in Washington. Let's get the update from Brent Musburger. All right, Brent, you better believe that the Bucs fans will be most excited about that one. But right now, the Bucs are trailing 13-7 here. 3rd and 11, Tupa. Back to pass. Throws it complete for the first down to Ernie Jones. Jones down to the 29-yard line.
Outstanding job of reading the coverage by Tupa as he goes to Ernie Jones, who's single covered by Donnie Elder. Watch Elder fall down. In fact, he almost broke his leg as Jones makes a sharp cut, and the Cardinals have got a big first down on 3rd and 11.
Boy, not a DB's friend with a poor field position or field condition like this.
Jones really quick in and out of his break, and that will cause any defensive back trouble on any field.
1st and 10, ball at the 29 of Tampa. 14:45 remaining in the game. Tupa was looking for Roy Green and throws it complete to Tony Jordan. A 4-yard pass play.
Here's Robert Awalt, and he's a very frustrated man right now as he head back to the huddle. He's covered at the beginning of this pattern, but watch how he finds a hole down the middle of the field. Unfortunately for Tupa, he never saw him.
Tupa had his eyes on Roy Green.
Sometimes an inexperienced quarterback, but the other thing is you've got so many choices out there. You got 5 receivers going, you can't possibly look at all of them.
2nd and 6 out of the I formation. Farrell, the up back. Jordan. And Jordan loses the ball, recovered by Mark Robinson of Tampa. So the Buccaneers get a break as Jordan fumbles the ball, and Mark Robinson comes up with the fumble recovery, and he paid for it.
Let's see who pops this ball loose from Tony Jordan as he makes a nice move right here to get to the outside. But here comes Harry Hamilton, and he just punches it out with his right hand, as it appeared that Jordan had good control of that ball. But that's 310 pounds of center. Derek Kennard coming in and pounding little tiny 200-pound Mark Robinson. He's still down on the field.
Oof, what a hit by a 300-plus pounder, as you said. That's a big man. 1st and 10, ball at the 20. Howard. Big William Howard taking it forward to the 27-yard line. Call it a run of 8 yards to bring up a 2nd and 2.
Watch Howard as he runs to this side and then cuts back over the middle here. Good push up front from Bubba Grimes. Outstanding block on Sadler. And if it wasn't for Ken Harvey, Howard might still be running.
In addition to being a punishing runner, Howard doing a little spinning. 2nd and 2. William Howard looks to have banged his way to the 1st down.
And not only does he bang his way for a 1st down, JB, he went right through the arms of Freddie Joe Nunn to pick up that 1st down. Strong, determined running from William Howard. This is number 78, Freddie Joe. He's going to come upfield. Howard is just going to run right through his arm tackle.
1st and 10 from the 31. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Danny Peoples, and Peoples turned around on that pass from Vinny Testaverde.
Again, just a little bit behind him, but Peoples is a guy that Ray Perkins really feels is going to be a superstar in this league. He's formerly a track performer, a lot of speed. That's not always makes it for a good football player, but Peoples has enough athletic ability, quite a bit athletic ability, that Perkins has a lot of confidence in him. As you see, he's in the ball game now.
Important for him just to stay healthy. He's been nicked and banged.
Something that happens to a lot of track athletes when they make the transition to football.
Testaverde, 1 second down, complete to Peoples, and he drops it. So Danny Peoples bobbled the ball. Pass was there, a little low, but nonetheless, Peoples had it in his hands.
And again, it's a slant pattern, something that Perkins likes to call to his wide receivers. This ball will hit Peebles right in the belt buckle as it goes through his hands, and you can't fault the quarterback or anybody else but the wide receiver on that one.
Bring up a 3rd and 10. David Galloway.
David Galloway in just on pass rushing situations, number 65 from the right of our screen. Outstanding spin move on Gruber, and Testaverde never had a chance.
Playing with a strained calf. Didn't hurt him that time as Chris Moore boots this one away. Sikahima from the 27. Across midfield. 26-yard return by Vi Sikahima off of a 53-yard punt. Now you know why he's second in the NFC.
Watch Vi Sikahema do his Jean-Claude Keely routine here as he goes through the slalom. One guy misses. There's 2, 3. There's number 4 and 5. And he goes all the way to the punter and Kurt Jarvis before they bring him down. Outstanding return.
5 punt returns for a total of 85 yards by Sikahema. And this is Farrell. Trying to turn the corner. And boy, is he running hard. Half of the Tampa Bay team on him. And we've got a little extracurricular activity taking place here. And guess who's on the bottom of the pile? And the only way you can win in a battle like that, Derek Kennard. The only way.
He's getting his licks in, I know that. Fine job, though, stringing this play out by the Buccaneers. And I'm sure that Earl Farrell wishes he wasn't banged up a little bit today because he might have had some yards. But look at the gang tackling, the pursuit. 6 guys right there. Kennard really just gets pushed on top of the pile. And now he's going after Jarvis, guys that he's been going nose-to-nose with all day long. But this isn't a real good place for the Bucs to get into a fight because all their buddies are 53 yards away on the other side of the field.
After all of that, a gain of 1.
Now, how can a big guy like Lance Smith there at about 280 pounds have anything bothered with him? Maybe somebody got one of those
I was about to say.
Three Stooges moves where they go boink right in the eyes.
Anything goes. 2nd and 9. Ball at the 47. 11:33 remaining in the game. Tupa at the last minute deciding to run. Kurt Jarvis tripped him up. Second-year player out of Alabama.
All right, let's follow the odyssey of Kurt Jarvis here. He's playing over the center, Derek Kennard here. And Tupa has about 6 seconds to throw. There's Jarvis. He's on the ground. He scrambles on up to his feet and just tenaciously stays after the quarterback and picks up a big sack for Tampa.
A loss of 6 on the play. Brings up a 2nd and 15.
That's a well-deserved rest for Kurt Jarvis.
Check that. Make it 3rd. Tupa complete to Roy Green. And did Green lose the ball? Was he down by contact? We'll await the call.
He fumbled it.
He did. So Roy Green, after picking up the first down for Phoenix, loses the ball, and Tampa comes away with the recovery.
Well, let's check out which hand he's carrying this ball in. Number 81, the second receiver in here, Roy Green, down over the middle. Huge hole. Great throw from Tupa. Now watch as after he makes the grab, make sure he has the first down, going for extra yardage, carrying the ball in that sore right hand. Ball gets knocked out by Harry Hamilton, and the Buccaneers come up with a turnover. Big play for Tampa.
Boy, Hamilton's playing some kind of alert ball today.
Yeah, we saw him limp off the field at the end of the first half. Looked like he'd never come back.
From their own 31, 1st and 10, 10:46 remaining in the game. Howard, bull drive straight ahead. Gain of about 3 will bring up a 2nd and 7 situation. And Washington really expanding that lead over Chicago there.
Denver, the class of the AFC this year. They'll move to 10-2.
Raiders having a little tough time with New England. 2nd and 7. Mark Carrier to the near side for the Bucs. Ball at the 34. Howard. And William Howard diving up near the 39-yard line. Stopped by Tim McDonald. Gain of about 5. Will bring up a 3rd and 2.
Right over here, just out of our picture, is Tim McDonald, and he's going to come up and make another tackle. He has led this Phoenix team in tackles the last 2 years, and that is an outstanding play as it looked like Howard had the corner.
Tim McDonald understands the importance of him having a big year this year as well.
Well, he's up for renegotiation, and being one of the lower paid players on the defensive team, he is due for a big raise.
3rd and 2. 3 wide receiver set for the Bucs. Howard. He's got the first down, plus 4 more, as William Howard gets it up near the 45.
I got to give a lot of credit to William Howard today. He's not normally the outside type of runner, but watch how the tight end there, Ron Hall, pins in Freddie Joe Nunn just long enough for Howard to get to that corner and pick up the first down.
Boy, Howard is really a load. 240 pounds packed into that 6-foot frame, and he's running hard today.
Well, and he's fortunate to be back in the lineup. James Wilder had replaced him, and Wilder came up with bum ribs today, and Howard is making the most of a good situation for himself.
8:34 remaining in the game. 1st and 10 for Tampa. Ball at the 45. Howard again. Spinning for about 2 yards on the run.
You know, the Bucs' one touchdown drive was a real beauty. They went a long way, and it took them a long time with a lot of plays. I would be assured that Ray Perkins would love to see a duplicate type of drive now to eat up this 8 minutes that's left and go ahead in this ball game.
Well, they credit Howard with a 4-yard gain. We'll bring up a 2nd and 6 situation. 7:56 remaining in the game. 2 wide receivers to the left. Howard the lone back. Howard, the ball carrier. William Howard, yet another first down. 7-yard run by William Howard.
Well, the Bucs have gone with the toss to Howard a couple of times to this side. Now they're going to come back to this side. Watch the blocking here as they seal the corner for Howard. Tight end, William Harris with a nice job, and Howard picks up some good yards.
Tuning in, expecting to see 60 Minutes. Welcome to CBS coverage of the National Football League. Along with Dan Fouts, I'm James Brown at Sun Devil Stadium, where the score is Phoenix 13, Tampa 7. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following the game. Right now, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with an impressive drive. 6:43 remaining in the contest. Tampa trailing by 6.
William Howard's getting very close to the century mark. 85 yards and 19 carries, and about the last 5 in a row for the Bucs.
2nd and... Howard looking for a hold, makes his own inside the 40 to about the 39. Call it a gain of 3. Bring up 3rd and 6, and you see the time moving forward. 6:08 remaining.
Perkins has really gotten basic with his offense this last drive. A couple of tosses to the right, a couple to the left, Howard up the middle. But now he's faced with a 3rd and 6, or actually 3rd and 4. And we'll see what he comes up with here. Tough to make that many yards on the ground.
Said his ball club has never played well out west. First down, Mark Carrier. Vinny Testaverde comes through with the big pass to Mark Carrier inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Carrier's going to move in motion, come up the field, and then use all this field to get open against Carl Carter. Single coverage, quick move to the outside, and Carter can do nothing but watch him catch it and push him out of bounds.
And the clock is running. 5 minutes remaining in the contest. Tampa at the 28 of Phoenix. Howard. And William Howard continues his impressive running. 4-yard run. will bring up a second and about 6. Strong college football lineup next weekend. Number 4 Alabama against number 10 Auburn. That'll be coming your way next week at 2 o'clock Eastern time up in Auburn. Followed by the Heisman Trophy presentation show. That'll be coming your way at 5:30 Eastern time from the Downtown Athletic Club next week here on CBS. 2nd and 5. All at the 23. Testaverde intercepted by McDonald. So Tim McDonald comes up with his 7th interception.
Perkins asking his quarterback, what did you see? How could you possibly throw that one? Tim McDonald is all over this. He is to the left of our screen, out of our picture here, but Testaverde eyeballing Bruce Hill all the way, never saw McDonald in the zone coverage there. Crucial mistake as the Bucks were really rolling, looking like they were going to go in for 6.
Phoenix takes over on its own 35. Earl Farrell back maybe to the line of scrimmage.
The Bucks should be trying to call a timeout immediately now. They cannot afford to let the Phoenix Cardinals go down and run this clock off. That drive that the Bucks just had took 6 minutes and 44 seconds off the clock. Very impressive, and yet they come away with zilch.
As the clock continues to run, 2nd and 10 for Phoenix. Farrell, the lone back. Play action. Winston Moss all over top of Tupa. And Irvin Randall nearly had an interception. Boy, would he like to have that one back.
Well, both guys would like to have another shot at this. First of all, Tupa is going to fake the ball up inside to Earl Farrell, come out on the bootleg. He wanted to go to Roy Green, but good coverage by Rod Jones there on the out pattern. Now he checks out his tight end Awald over the middle, and Irvin Randall, he can't figure out why he didn't make that interception.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining, 3:08 remaining in the contest. Phoenix on top, 13-7. 3rd and 10 for the Cardinals. Incomplete, throwing the fade pattern to Roy Green.
This is just wonderful coverage. 2 plays in a row by Rod Jones on Roy Green. Tupa is going to Green because it's a blitz situation, single coverage on the outside, but you can't cover a man any better than Rod Jones did there. And Tampa will get the ball back with a lot of time left. The Cardinals did a poor job of running time off that clock.
Rich Camarillo on to punt for the Cardinals. Willie Drury back for the Buccaneers. Drury from the 21. Drop at the 27, and there's a flag on the play. A 45-yard punt by Camarillo, a 7-yard return by Willie Drury, dropped by Ken Harvey. But there is a flag on the play.
It appears to be against Tampa, one of those illegal block deals. And this is another crucial mistake for the Buccaneers.
Illegal block, number 22, on the receiving team, on the return, penalty enforcement from the dead ball spot. 10 yards, first down, timeout.
Rod Jones, and I think Jerry Markbright said it all. 2:53 when we come back. 1st and 10 for the Bucks. Ball at their own 18. 2:53 remaining. Bucks trailing by 6. Complete to Mark Carrier up to the 38-yard line for a first down. So
Bucs are going to their hurry-up offense, but this is very similar to the situation they faced last week against the Bears when they needed to go 4 minutes and get a field goal.
Testaverde dropped. The ball nearly intercepted by Ken Harvey.
Well, these linebackers just aren't used to catching a lot of balls, and Ken Harvey had this one right in his mitts, but you see all the tape on his hands and everything. He's got coverage on the tight end, William Harris, number 86. This ball is underthrown, and Harris will think about this one, or rather, Ken Harvey will think about this one for a long time.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 from the 39. 2:26 remaining. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Ron Hall. Will bring up a 3rd and 10.
The Cardinals are doing a good job of taking away the wide receivers. This is the tight end, Ron Hall, running the post pattern here. Testaverde sees the double coverage outside. This is where he wants to go with the ball. Just, again, a poorly thrown pass as Hall had a bit of a step on the defensive back.
Testaverde 13 of 31 for 139 yards. 3rd and 10. Complete to Bruce Hill for the first down. So Tampa keeps its drive alive with that pass play from Testaverde to Bruce Hill.
Just a wonderful pass. This is Hill in the slot here, number 84, working against Cedric Mack. And this ball couldn't be better thrown as Testaverde shows the competitor that he is, coming up with a big completion there. But that drive last week against the Bears really has shown as evidence the maturation process of this young Buck football team. The difference, though, in that game, they just needed 3 points. In this one, they got to go all the way to the end zone.
You see the time remaining. 2:17. 3 wide receiver set. Testaverde throws incomplete. The intended receiver was Danny Peoples.
And Peebles was a real big factor in the drive last week against the Bears. Made 2 fine catches over the middle and then used his speed to get out of bounds and kill the clock. Right now, the clock is not a problem for the Buccaneers. A lot of time left, 2:13. Got 2 timeouts. Big problem here is that 46 yards they got to go to get in the end zone.
As if Tampa needs any more inspiration, Chicago a loser to Washington. 2nd and 10. Bruce Hill in motion. Going for Hill and overthrows him. So we'll bring up a 3rd and 10 with 2:09 remaining in the contest. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, if we go back and think about the wild card picture, a loss today for this ball club, the Buccaneers, and their season is finished. This drive here is their season. Testaverde looking to the sidelines for a play, any play that'll get him 10 yards and a first down to keep him alive.
Well, this could be it for Tampa. Going for Carrier. Incomplete. So Tampa will get 1 more shot at it.
Well, they will. This was a fine decision from Testaverde. Many times this season, he's gone to his main receiver, Mark Carrier, and Carrier has come up with this type of catch. Watch how close this is as the ball goes up in the air. His eyes are on it. He just can't reach out with that right hand far enough to bring it in. Brings up 4th and 10.
And Testaverde wants to talk that one over.
Well,
smartly.
Yeah, perfect time to go to the bench. You got nothing else on your mind except what are we going to do to pick up this first down. Timeouts at the end of the game aren't really that important if you don't pick up this first down.
2:01 remaining. Ray Perkins was talking to us about the kind of scenarios he goes through with Testaverde to make certain in every conceivable situation they're both on the same page.
Well, and last night they had a meeting where both quarterbacks, Joe Ferguson, number 12 there, and Vinny Testaverde, gave Perkins their play as he would give them a situation. And this play here is the most crucial type of situation you could possibly find in a football game. What else can you ask for?
4th and 10. Carrier and Hill to the near side. Complete to William Howard, and Howard, with the second effort, gets the first down. So an 11-yard pass play from Vinny Testaverde to William Howard keeps the drive alive with 1:53 remaining. We'll be back in just a moment. Tonight on CBS, all gets started with 60 Minutes. That'll be followed by Murder, She Wrote. Then join CBS as we celebrate 50 years of television, hosted by Walter Cronkite. That's all tonight here on CBS. 1st and 10 for the Bucs. Ball at the 35. 1:53 remaining. Bucs trailing by 6. Testaverde throwing incomplete to Mark Carrier. Carl Carter on the coverage with a little help from Lonnie Young.
And you see Carrier motion to Testaverde, hey, put some more air under that ball. Let me go deep for it. Testaverde will underthrow this ball as he sees this fine coverage from number 41, Carl Carter. Carrier did not want to have to come back and make this play on that ball. He wanted it deep in the end zone.
Tampa Bay has eaten up 36 minutes of the clock in the game to 21 for Phoenix. All that matters here, 1:49 remaining. Tampa trailing 13-7. Complete to the 31-yard line to Danny Peebles. 5-yard pass play will bring up a 3rd and 5. Three wide receiver set. Incomplete, as Lonnie Young had that one right in the numbers.
Well, that hit him dead in the chest between the 4 and the 3 there. Testaverde with the fadeaway pass here. Watch as he never really gets set in the pocket here. He's going all the way to the receiver out here, but Lonnie Young steps in front of Carrier, and Carrier made a nice play of pinning Young's hands down and not letting him make that interception, but a real questionable throw by Testaverde. Again, a 4th down situation.
Complete to Bruce Hill for the first down. So Vinny Testaverde.
Last time out because, well, time's running down on Testaverde. Hill is out of the ball game.
Complete inside the 10 to Willie Drury. 1st and goal. Ball at the 5. 47 seconds remaining. 3 wide receiver set. Fade pattern. Touchdown, Tampa. Mark Carrier.
Carrier number 88 working against number 27, Jay Taylor here. This is the fade pattern, and this is as good as it gets right here, right in the corner. Defensive back is helpless, and Carrier comes away with a big touchdown.
So a big extra point attempt here by Donald Igwe-Buike. Chris Moore holding. And the chip shot for Donald Igwe-Buike puts Tampa on top with 43 seconds remaining. Here, do you kick this one off in regular fashion, or do you do a line drive down the middle to make it difficult to handle?
Well, that's the thing about Donald Igwe-Buike. He never really kicked to go and put Del Greco in field goal position.
to the up man. Up to about the 38-yard line goes Lydell Carr. First and 10, ball at the 40. Tupa throws it incomplete. Intended receiver Jay Novacek.
Well, and he had Novacek on the sideline there. That ball came out a little sidearm and really sailed on him. But Del Greco's longest of the year is from 50 yards away. He hit that one against Atlanta. But before the game, he felt comfortable that 53 yards and in would be his range. But that was about 3 or 4 hours ago when it was warmer and the air was a little bit lighter.
Second and 10. 4 wide receiver set. Tupa throws incomplete, but there's a flag on the play as Ernie Jones was covered a little too tightly that time by Bobby Futrell. Will make that Donnie Elder.
Pass interference, number 40, defense, automatic first down.
Earlier in the year, the Buccaneers lost a game to the 49ers where they committed a number of defensive penalties on the 49ers' last drive, where Joe Montana went in on a bootleg, and Donnie Elder was called for a few of them. That was a costly mistake for Tampa.
First and 10 from the 44 of Tampa. Tupa throws incomplete.
And to get their kicker in range.
On second down, Tupa throws incomplete again, going yet again for Jay Novacek. Tupa trying to run for it. He's got the first down and is out of bounds with 14 seconds remaining. Gets it down to the 31-yard line.
Well, what he couldn't do with his arm, he did with his legs there. He's gotten the football team, the Cardinals, in position where Del Greco would kick about a 50-yarder here. Watch the
first and 10 from the 31. And the play is stopped, flagged down near the 10-yard line.
Delay a game. Tupa let the clock run down, and that of experience of the quarterback, Tom Tupa. 11 seconds to go. Actually, it's going to go back to 14 because no time should be run off the clock, and they're making that adjustment.
Sukahima, the lone back. Ball is batted down.
Going to have to figure out if they're going to kick a field goal or not.
11 seconds remaining. Second and 15 situation for the Cardinals. And Tupa throws complete. This time, Jay Novacek catches it. Be a 47-yard field goal to Tampa.
And a little mind game. Pressure on the snapper Kawhi and the holder Tupa as well.
It's up. And it's no good. And Tupa had a little bit of placing the ball.
Oh, Del Greco gave it a great ride, though. Long enough, just wide to the left. 1 second left. Perkins wants his team off the field. But your heart really goes out to Hank Kuhlman and these Cardinals first, and it appeared that Del Greco just came over the top too much.
So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers improved their record to 5-7, and for the first time since 1984, the team has won back-to-back games. Hank Kuhlman, debut as the interim coach, loses in that effort, and Ray Perkins goes over to talk to Vinny Testaverde. Big victory for him. We'll be back in just a moment.